Thank you for being here today. Again, my apologies for the delay in starting this morning's class. We had a little bit of a disruption in power, but everything is back on and we are back online. So thank you so much for joining me for this practice, whatever time that you're doing this practice from your home. And I'm so happy that we actually get to have this available for us, so that if we don't have the time to make the live class, that we can always return to this at a time that is right for us. So I'm so happy that you are joining me. Join me here in this posture of mountain. Come into the feet. Start to feel the feet. Wiggle your toes. Notice the balls of your feet. Maybe lift the heels so we can really start to feel and spread through the toes. Press down through the balls of the feet. And even feel the sense of rising, feeling tall, feeling proud. Really feeling like this strength of a mountain. And then let's invite the heels to come down very, very slowly. Little micro movements. And then picking up the toes when we arrive. So all 10 toes stretching out wide. We're really pressing into the backs of the feet now, really driving down into the heels. We're light through the balls. Take a breath here. Exhale it out. Drop, drop all 10 toes down to the mat, and then feel the whole surface of the feet. Notice here where your body is lying. Maybe our center today might be a little off kilter. So let's actually just invite a little bit of movement side to side so we can start to see the range our feet can hold us, right? Our feet are our foundation here, and we should send some love and appreciation to all the work that our feet do for us, and really, really start to root down into what keeps us here, the gravity, the pull of the earth. And this is all just to remind us that we are connected to this earth. So starting to notice what this connection feels like for you, let's come into center as we start to come into the presence, the awareness, the felt sense of being connected to this earth. Welcome here. Maybe the hands arrive at the heart, the eyes close, so you can really drop into this sensation, the feeling, and welcome in this powerful connection. You might even want to asking the universe, why are we so deeply connected to the earth? And noticing what arises here. Notice what this means and feels like for you. Let's take one more breath here. And start to create a little sense or feeling of more air space here around this energetic heart with your next breath in. And letting the breath out, making a sound. Let's sweep our arms up, connect the palms at the top here, and extend our feet out wide. Make the feet parallel to each other, so almost like we've got this wide train track underneath us. With our hands together at the top, take a breath in and start to notice where you can start to stretch. Feel tall again. Welcoming every part of the body, every muscle to really deeply stretch and lengthen. And then exhale, allow the upper body just to come halfway so that we make our upper body now is parallel with the floor. Hands reaching forward, our buttocks are reaching behind us, seeing where you can start to spread through the tailbone and all the way up through the crown of the head. One more breath here. Exhaling it out. Let's allow ourselves to arrive tall again, palms still touching, reach up tall to the top. And then let's do a little movement over to one side, back tall into the middle, and then over to the other side. Start to create a little bit of movement here with your breath. Breathing in over to one side, breathing out over to the other. Starting syncing movement with breath. We're greeting ourselves today with this presence of gratitude. So noticing what this feels like for you, noticing what you can be grateful for in your life, and even welcoming this gratitude for your practice today, since through yoga we certainly learn more about ourselves, and we also learn about this connection with all of life, all living human beings, all plants, all sources of energy. And let's come tall into the center here, and then let's take our arms out wide as our upper body floats down, bringing it all the way down, and hands land wherever they land.
take a breath here and notice where you can start to expand through that spine, maybe dropping down the tailbone just a slight amount. Feel where the lower back curves over top of the body. And then start to bring the awareness through the spine as the spine draws a little heavier and the head becomes heavy, dropping it down into the center a little bit more. Take another round of breath here. Exhaling it out. And then we'll slowly rise. So add a little tiny softness to the knees as you roll up through the back.
Roll shoulders at the top when you arrive. And take a moment here. Let's spread our arms out wide, palms facing down. Start to feel yourself stretching in all directions. And almost imagine that there is an energy field around you, 360 degrees, spreading all the way around you, that is full of this love, gratitude, peace, happiness, joy, connection, whatever it is that you can sense and feel here, or whatever you can sense and create, right? Since we are beings that can create these energetic presences within ourselves as well. So take one more breath here, creating this energetic field around you, this field of love, support, connection. And then let's allow palms to touch again here at the top. And then slowly bring it down here into the heart space again, arriving here, what is present within you. Noticing if you can sense or feel this energy field within and also around. One more breath. Let's stretch our arms out, reaching our maximum capacity here, feeling as though we can even extend even more throughout the fingertips, the shoulders, the legs, the feet. And then let's arrive back here, floating our upper body down. Hands landing wherever they may. Allow the head to become heavy. Find more length through the spine as you breathe. And then let's find one hand and place it into the center on the floor. So if you need to bend your knees to get there, certainly go ahead. Find whatever way that you can get into this posture. And then start to expand up through the other side, so swinging the other hand out, following it with your gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. Or maybe somewhere on your clock, right? So take one more breath here. You start to press down through the hand and reach up with the fingertips. One more full deep breath. And then we can switch it out to the other side. Making your movement soft, mindful, following the hand with your gaze, reaching those fingertips up. One more round of breath here. Slow, deep breath in, slow, deep breath out. Arriving here for our practice. Let's place both hands into the center and start to expand back again. Pressing back with both hips. Allow the length of the leg to open up. Feel as though you can breathe into the hamstrings. One more breath. And then let's allow everything to go by taking the feet about halfway in. Turn so that the heels are in, the toes are out, and start to drop the upper body into the center. Let's keep our hands here on the floor for a breath. Start to engage the backs of the arms into the insides of the legs, starting to press just a little bit more. Add a little activity to your posture today. Let's take one more breath here. Exhaling it out. Keep your left hand here connected to the floor and also the back of the arm connected to the inside of the leg as you start to sweep up through the right side. Keep your gaze here at this open palm reaching up. Taking a breath here. Exhaling it out. And then we'll float this hand down to the right side. Hand to the floor, palm pressing down. Action here of the arm pressing into the leg as you start to sweep the left hand or the other side now reaching up. Take a breath here. Exhaling it out. Let's come back here into the center and press the palms together, arms really pressing into the legs. One more round of breath. Let's take both hands to the floor. Walk those feet so that they turn forwards
And then start to bend yourself all the way up, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Arriving here, tall at the top, roll the shoulders back, and let's rest here into our mountain pose. Taking a breath. When we arrive, feeling or sensing into this energy field and what it might sense or feel like. Or maybe even noticing how wide your energy field can extend. Might feel like light, vibration, or it might feel like an emotion or a feeling tone. Everyone is unique in this experience, and there's no wrong way to experience this. One more breath. Open the eyes. Find a very soft point where you can keep the eyes focused and ahead of you, and start to transfer the weight over to the left foot as the right foot becomes super light. Placing the sole of the foot on the inside of the leg, being cautious not to place it here at the knee, below or above. Notice where you can start to roll and expand that knee out. And start to notice what happens here to the hip on the left side. It starts to want to move out to counterbalance. Notice here if there is a small drawing in that you can bring to your posture to help the center core of the body align a little taller, bringing a little more strength into your practice today. One more breath. Exhaling it out. Let's turn the knee forward and extend the toes behind us and keep them lifted. Taking a rounder breath here. And then let's bend that knee, bring it back forward just for a breath. Exhale, bringing that foot down beside its mate. Pause here into your center. Feel how good it is to rest on both legs. One breath here. Greeting ourselves with this sense of happiness or this field of supportive, harmonious energy around us. And then transfer the weight over to the right foot as the left foot becomes super light as a feather, and turning so that the knee rolls out and the sole of the foot connects below or above the knee. Keep the eyes soft into a drishti point in front of you. Round breath here, arriving, maybe drawing that right hip in if it's gone out. Noticing how this also increases the pose, the posture, increasing your strength and stability when you do. One more breath. Excellent job, guys. Let's turn that knee in now and lift the foot up, and then swing the leg behind us. Toes are lifted, or if you need to, go ahead and place them down to the mat. One breath here with your strength, stability. And then let's allow that knee to bend and swinging it in front of us. And then slowly dropping it beside its mate, arriving here on both feet. Notice how good this feels. Take a moment here to send some love to your feet, some gratitude to your feet. Let's take a step forward with the right foot and a little step back with the left foot so we can have this wide stance and bend into that front knee. Coming into a warrior one with arms raised, sinking both hips forward. Maybe even moving that front foot just a little bit wider. That will help to also increase the foundation. You should feel the sense that from the navel down is really rooted down. So one more round of breath here. Exhaling it out. And if your right knee is forward, your right hand extends forward. If your left knee is forward, your left hand extends forward. We take it down, and let's bring the hand to the inside of the knee so we can see that the back of the hand makes the contact with the inside of the knee, and the left hand reaches up. Start to notice how this left hip reaches back and rolls up towards the ceiling and slightly behind you. Let's allow ourselves to arrive here, maybe even sweeping the arm over the ear. Find some strength as you start to press that left hip back. One more round of breath here. Exhaling it out. Turn the torso as you reach both arms back up, arriving into your warrior one. Maybe there's some space where you can sink a little deeper. Breathe. Let's extend that right arm forward again, but reaching forward with the fingertips, and reach back with the left hand. So we've got into our warrior two now. Notice how this hip rolls back again.
Let's drop that left hand on the back leg and then reach up through the right. Maybe sink a little bit more. Keep your gaze up towards your hand if you can, or down at the ground to give you support here. One more round of breath. Exhale it out. Let's come back into our warrior two, and then let's drop so that the forearm rests on top of the thigh. And reach up towards the sky here, taking your gaze there if you can, or down at the ground again. One more round of breath here. Exhaling it out. Turn the torso, reach forward with both arms, allow the upper body to extend over the thigh, reaching with the fingertips. One round of breath. Exhaling it out. Rise back up into your warrior one, drop the shoulders, add a touch of softness to the elbows. Feel into your strength as you breathe. Let's bring palms together as we step forward, arriving back into our mountain pose. Notice how you might feel along the right side as opposed to the left side. Let's welcome some balance into our bodies and into our lives as we extend now the right foot back, left foot forward. Maybe there is that space where you move that left foot forward a little bit wide. That creates a little more space here. Awareness of those hips reaching forward to the front of your mat. Arms extend up towards the sky. Let's reach really tall. Find where we can start to reach up and then start to sink a little bit lower, adding a touch of softness to the elbows. Fingertips are still reaching. Big breath here. Exhaling it out. With our left foot forward, let's extend the right arm forward. You might be doing the other side, that's okay. Swing back the right arm, and then let's arrive here into our warrior two, allowing hips to be wide. This right hip now reaches back and up. Take a breath here. Exhale it out. Let's extend the left hand so that the back of the hand comes to the inside of the knee, and the right arm reaches up. Start to notice where you can come into this posture and then allow that right arm to reach over the ear, taking a round of breath here. Exhaling it out. Excellent job, guys. Swing yourself back up. Arrive into a warrior two, really wide. That's where you can start to sink. Maybe bending into that knee, feeling your strength. And then let's drop the right hand to the back leg and sweep up through the front here. Gaze up towards the ceiling if you can, or down at the foot. One breath when we arrive. Back into your warrior two. Let's swing both arms and watch how the chest moves as we reach forward. Bring those palms together and reach forward as the upper body starts to move over the thigh. Take a round of breath here. Reach back up, arriving in your warrior one. Both hips are reaching forward towards that left knee, towards the front edge of your mat. Add a touch of softness to the elbows. Breathe. Let's stand it forward, come into a mountain pose, palms here at the heart. Take a moment or two and breathe. Notice how you feel, what you can sense. One more round of breath. Let's extend that energy field and extend the legs out really wide, feet parallel with each other again. Palms touching, allow palms to rise tall. Feel yourself lengthening through the feet, through the legs, through the torso, and through the arms. And then folding yourself halfway again. Notice where you can extend back with the tailbone and reach forward with the hands. Add a touch of softness to the knees if you feel as though the knees are locking, or if you feel that there's a lot of tension in the hamstrings today. One more round of breath here. Let's arrive up and extend our arms out wide, palms facing down. Notice where you can start to lengthen through the center and also really expand out. Feel as though this energetic field can expand past your fingertips. Notice if you can feel this snow globe effect of everything around you in this beautiful, beautiful container, as though you can contain your happiness, joy, gratitude, peacefulness, calm, whatever you have here in your snow globe. And imagine that your snow globe has been shaken and that you've become still and that everything starts to drift down to the surface. Noticing how this calms the mind and also calms the body through the nervous system, and with this gentle awareness, like a snow globe being shaken and then stopped. Let's allow all of our bits of ourselves to float down to the feet. Awareness flowing down to the feet. And that the upper body becomes light. One more breath. Exhaling it out. Let's take our hands here to the hips. It'll feel nice to give a little break of our arms and shoulders and allow the upper body to fold halfway again. Start to notice where you can extend through crown, through tail. And then drop the upper body down. Allow the hands to come down to the floor or on tops of the legs, wherever they land. Take another round of breath here. Extending it out. Walk your hands a little more forward if you can, if you've got the space there. And then start to extend both legs back. Arrive into a plank. So plank can be done with knees up, one knee down, both knees down. You can come into a table. One breath here. Exhale it out. Start to press the hips back and arrive into a downward facing dog for one breath. Chest moves forward as we arrive into a plank for only one breath again. Come down to elbows too if there's any problems with the wrist today. Let's drop one foot in, roll ourselves around and come into this supported side plank. One breath. Come back into your table. Let's allow both knees to arrive here. And then extend the opposite leg out and run back here into your side plank, supported side plank on the other side. Breathe. You guys are awesome. Come back in here. Let's come into a tabletop with a couple of hulas. And a couple of hulas in the opposite direction. Let's press back into a child's pose. Let's allow our knees to be out wide, big toes touching. As the upper body folds forward, notice where you can start to expand and soften. These two realms, right? So where you can start to really grow and expand and feel as though the body stretches with the breath. And then as you breathe out, notice where you can soften. Notice how each breath offers us this moment, this opportunity. Each breath in is an encouragement for you to stretch into your own being. And each breath out is giving you this permission to let go, release what doesn't serve you, what you don't need here. And our bodies go through this cycle every single day with every single breath. Each breath in is a guidance here to come into your own strength. And each breath out is an opportunity to let go what you don't need. So one more breath here with this gentle awareness, this felt sense, expanding into your own strength, your own growth, your own potential. And each breath out, just letting go what hasn't been processed and allowing it all to be processed, to be really, really completed. And after we finished all of our rounds of breath here, let's arrive into our tabletop. So knees are back underneath the hips, the wrists line up underneath the shoulders. Take one breath here as you start to rise. Both hips come up, forward, palms touch here at the heart, and then exhale, hands down at the heart. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift, find the whole length of the front and the back of the body. Maybe even adding a gentle back bend if you wish. Make it small, make it gentle. Then come back here, tall into the middle, and hands here at the heart. Let's start to feel as though we can almost place the hand down the side. So it's almost like it's going to touch, but it's not going to touch. We're going to reach up on the other side. And we're going to use this hand as a little anchor, a little guidance to drop down. Maybe the hands come down to the floor if you've got a really, really stretchy body today, but maybe it doesn't. So taking a round of breath here. Exhaling it out. Come tall into the center. Let's float the hand down to the side of the leg on this side, reaching up through the other side. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, folding over. Breathe a whole round of breath here, arriving in this posture. And then back tall. Let's take both hands up to the top. And then slowly bringing hands here down onto the heart. Let's tuck the toes behind us so that the heels are lifted. And start to sit back onto the heels. Notice where you can spread all 10 toes out wide. We're only going to take 2 breaths here, so try as best as you can if this is really tough on your feet. And let's notice how hard our feet work and that they need the stretch as well. So let's encourage our feet to spread to wide and that they keep absorbing this wonderful connective energy from the earth. And that they keep using it as fuel to source us. One more breath here. You guys have got this. Exhaling it out. Excellent. It'll feel so good to release the feet. So bring the hands to the floor. Give yourself a little tap here. Taps of the feet. Tops of the feet touching. And let's come back into a child's pose, but this time we have our knees together as the head drops down into the center. Rounded breath here. Exhale it out. Let's walk both hands over to one side as we extend into a child pose. Gentle twist here, gentle stretch. Rounded breath here when you arrive. Walking both hands back to the middle and then floating over to the other side, noticing where you can stretch into your child's pose on this side. Walk your hands back into the center once you finish your breath. And let's do it with the buttocks this time. Sweeping both buttocks over to one side. And then coming into the center and then sweeping both buttocks over to the other side. Come back into the center. Let's allow our upper body to fold into the center. A little pressure here of the hands. So allow the fingertips to take the weight. And then start to extend both legs back and arrive up. Take a breath here. Exhaling it out. Let's press back into our tabletop. Allow your hands to roll a little bit further out in front of you now. So really stretching out and allow the heart to drop into the center. One round of breath here when you arrive. Hips are high. Feel a stretch in the armpits, the shoulders. And then slowly roll yourself up into a seated position. Stacking one foot on top or in front of the other. And then let's find out what our natural posture is, right? So when we do this without thinking, there is one side that is going to generally move in this way much more easily and regularly than the other side. So let's make a little adjustment here where we start to use the other side of our brain, so that we can connect into this posture and notice what is present here when we feel and sense moving this way. So noticing what we might have felt was balance for us is maybe not, right? It's all about perspective and feeling. So notice where you can start to feel aligned and balanced in this new, somewhat adjusted posture. Let's place hands over the heart as we close the eyes. And let's welcome 5 things that we are grateful for in our lives. Our American relatives have just celebrated Thanksgiving. We think of you today, and we also think of the communities of people that might not also feel the same warm feelings at this time of year. So let's just send as much love and support as we can to not only our family and our own communities, but communities outside of our own that might be experiencing something different than what we are experiencing. And that may we all become aware of our true nature and ourselves here, and that we're all connected, and we're all human beings just doing the best we can. And that sometimes that the things that happened in our past really don't align with our future, and that they don't have to hold the same weight. That we can start to transform and shift and change ourselves as our bodies are always changing, the world is always changing, and everything is in this constant flow of change. So let's encourage ourselves to become in the flow of change ourselves, and that we can actually also become a little bit more softer, generous, loving, and kind to ourselves. And when we do this, this extends out to others. So 5 things that you feel grateful for in your life. And then 5 things that make you feel happy. This felt sense of happiness. It could be people, it could be activities, it could be objects, it could be even just practices or simple things like doing laundry. Whatever it is that makes you feel happy. For the record, laundry does not make me happy, but it could be for somebody out there. And notice how these things that make you feel happy, notice how you might be able to share this happiness with somebody else today. And commit yourself to one thing that you can do to make somebody else feel happy today. Now, happiness is good for one person, but happiness is much better when everybody is happy. So notice what you can do just to bring this feeling to one other person today. And let's close out today's practice here with 3 ohms. If you'd like to join me or just listen in, that's fine too. Breathing in together. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me for this practice today. Thank you for those who waited for me this morning. My apologies. And thank you, thank you, thank you for really coming into your own gratitude, really coming into what makes you feel happy. And notice if this practice is difficult too. That's fine too. There is no really wrong way. Sometimes we allow our minds or our egos to get into the way, and really just by giving us the space and the time is enough to start to reveal those selves and really start to slow down that sprinkling of the snow globe and really arrive within. And when we do this, we're really actually connecting to all of that energy that flows into all of life, and we're really allowed to embrace the power and the flow of all of life. So thank you, thank you, thank you. May you be happy today. May you be well, and may you find gratitude in all things. And may you share this felt sense of happiness and gratitude with someone else today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Have a great day. Thanks, guys. Like my day dance.